It is late at night, and a bunch of hidden figures are making their way through the forest. They move fast and silently through the night, hopping from tree to tree. When they suddenly come to a stop, they look down at a sleeping bag next to a still-burning campfire. They look down with malicious looks in their eyes and all draw their weapons. Their leader twitches and then suddenly throws a weapon at high speeds toward the sleeping bag. The blade hits the bag, but when they take a closer look, they see that there is no one in the sleeping bag. The leader looks surprised, and then suddenly a voice tells them over here. The leader turns around quickly for him to see someone standing on the tree behind him. He sees a young boy with a lifeless look in his eyes staring at them. The boy tells him that he can kill them since they ambushed him first. He further elaborates that this would be considered self-defense. He readies his bow and decides to use a tree branch as an arrow. The group of men laugh and mock him for using a tree branch. One of them asks if he is joking when he suddenly gets his head impaled by a tree branch. He falls down to his death, and all the others look shocked at what happened. They look terrified at the boy, and he gets ready to shoot another tree branch imbued with some kind of energy. He fires off another one and calmly counts one. He then shoots another and says 2. The men look terrified and the boy keeps going. He counts 3 and then 4 while shooting his arrows. He breaks off another tree branch while the leader begs him to spare him. The boy looks back emotionless and tells them that if they intended to hurt Mother, they should have prepared to die. He pulls back his bow and fires at the leader. The energy-enforced arrow is enough to finish him. The boy looks at the ground and says that there should be no traces left anymore. He looks at the ground stat and says that things are different than Darien told him. He moves silently through the night, hopping from tree to tree. He remarks that the human world is really boring. Some unknown people are talking about the fact that a lot of time has passed, and if the Demon King's traces are going to be left the way they are. Someone tells him that it does not matter as someone with demonic energy can't get past the barrier. Someone mentions that the problem is that they can't use the land because of the demonic energy. Someone remarks that if no one can come back alive, why don't they just send people they were gonna kill into there? People look shocked, and he continues that they always have to get rid of people, and the forest would be an easy way to do that. Everyone seems to agree and therefore is all for the plan. In a forest, people are yelling and pleading with knights who are there to take people away. They take a baby from someone, and even though she pleads not to take the baby, they still perform a strange ritual. The mom screams her son's name Helmut as he gets teleported away. The place the baby is sent to is named Root. It is a place of exile where no one ever comes back alive, not even commanders and mages. They send people there by using divine magic, with the promise that if they did survive the forest, their sins would be forgiven. One day, being a baby who was born with the seed of darkness became a sin. The baby started crying, and we start to realize that this baby was dropped in the worst place on their planet. The forest was filled with demonic energy. The child had to endure hunger and coldness. But the energy from the seed that was embedded in his heart activated and covered him. 10 days passed, and the child miraculously survived. Until one day, a huge leopard that emits blue energy stumbles upon the kid. He looks at the baby and at first growls. He then picks the baby up, and from that day the child's fate was decided. We skip to 10 years later where we see a young boy chasing a rabbit. The young boy curses the rabbit and keeps running after it. The kid jumps high and tells the rabbit to stay still. He lands on the back of the rabbit and catches it. He tells the leopard named Alaga that he got another, and she faintly smiles. She jumps off the tree she was sitting on and kills the rabbit swiftly. She asks the kid named Helmut if he has gotten used to hunting already. He tells her that he has, but he can only hunt rabbits now. She tells him that all demonic beasts possess a demon core. The beast also gets stronger if they eat the core. Helmut wants to take the core since he caught it, but Eliga tells him that he can't and pushes him away. Helmut is screaming on the ground that he wants some beads too. Eliga tells him he is human, and if he were to eat the core, he would turn into a demonic beast. That would mean he would have to live in the forest forever. Helmut says that that is ridiculous. Even if he doesn't eat it, he would still be stuck in the forest, so wouldn't it be better to be stronger? He tells Alaga that he is still too weak to go anywhere but her territory. Eliga tells him that he can get out. Helmut is confused. She repeats that he can get out of the forest. Helmut asks how she would know that because even she can't get out of the forest. She also had a hard time believing it, but someone told her it was possible. Helmut asks who told her that it was possible. She tells him that a human told her, which surprises Helmut. She sees his reaction and tells him that he should not look for him, because he probably died in the forest. but Helmut tells her that he might be alive and asks if she saw him die. She told him that the human was old and used to be strong in the past. But no matter how strong a human is, they will grow weaker because they can't endure the demonic energy. She tells him that it has been a while and that he should probably be around the age of 90. Helmut asks where Elaga met that man. Elaga is offended that he wants to leave after she fed and raised him, while he tells her that she told him that he has to live on his own when he has grown up. She says that he might not even be there now, and he tells her he can just go back. She gets upset and then yells to Helmut that if he wants to meet the old man he can go, and he lives in the east. He turns around and starts running toward the east, leaving behind a surprised Elaga. She yells that she does not care if he dies along the way. Helmut is not listening and is more focused on the fact that there might be a human in the forest, who is apparently so strong that he does not need the seed of darkness. Helmut is just happy that he can finally meet another human that is just like him. Helmut is exhausted from running when he arrives at a fence. He wonders if there ever was such a place. He jumps over the fence and is sure of one thing. Only a human could have made this, when suddenly he gets pinned to the ground by someone. The man uses a lot of force and is incredibly strong. The man asks who he is and who sent him. Helmut answers that he is alone. He also tells him that Elaga told him that another human lived here. The man looks at Helmut attentively and then lets him go. The man asks Helmut why he decided to come to meet him. He tells Helmut that if he just wanted to meet a human, he came to the wrong person, but Helmut tells him that that is not the reason. Helmut stands up and tells the old man that he wants to get out of the forest. The man introduces himself as Darien and asks what Helmut's name is. He answers, and the man looks at him and asks if he really wants to. Helmut tells him that Elaga told him he knows how to get out of the forest. Darien asks him why he wants to get out, because the outside world is not as peaceful as he thinks it is. Helmut asks what is it like then. Darien answers that humans have weak bodies, but they are crueler than demonic beasts in exchange. Darien asks if he was born in the forest, and he answers that he wasn't. Darien then points out that he must have a seed of darkness, and Helmut confirms. Darien says that children with the seed of darkness are normally killed, but he must be a noble, which is why he was sent to the forest. Helmut is confused, and Darien tells him it means nothing, and that he has to pay a debt back to the leopard. He then tells Helmut he should listen carefully. He tells Helmut the reason he got sent to the forest is because of the seed of darkness he possesses. He told him that he will get hunted even if he leaves the forest as long as he has that seed. He then asks Helmut if he still wants to leave this forest. He nods his head, and Darien accepts him. He picks him up, which confuses Helmut, who is questioning what he is doing. Helmut is frustrated, and Darien notes that he has quite a temper. He tells Helmut that if he wants to go to the world of humans, he first needs to become one. Darien, while carrying, tells him that he will make him into a human. Helmut asks Darien what he has to do to get out of the forest, and he responds that he has to get through the barrier, but it would be impossible for him now. He tells him that he has to get stronger first, and then go to someone who knows how to get through it. He asks who, but Darien tells him he can't tell him yet. Helmut then asks him how he can get stronger, and Darien just tells him that he should do what he says. When inside, Helmut asks why Darien asks him to do something like that. Darien just says that humans live like that, and Helmut comments that Darien's house is dirty. Darien tells him that he can also live in the forest, which frustrated Helmut. Helmut shows him his bed, and he excitedly gets in. Helmut asks if he can rest now. Darien calls him lazy, and tells him he got more to do, and tells him he has to change into the clothes Darien gives him. Helmut tells him that the clothes are uncomfortable, but Darien insists that that is what humans wear. Helmut feels uncomfortable, but puts up with it. Darien and Helmut are walking outside, and Helmut asks why. Adrian tells him he is going to teach him what he can't eat and how to make those things edible. All the root organisms in the world have a core, and if you leave it, there will still be demonic energy. But the one thing that does not have demonic energy is water, so you can purify food by holding it in water. He tells Helmut to have a bite. Helmut is fascinated that the food is edible now, and they head back for the day. Helmut agrees that he needs human knowledge, but what did that have to do with him getting water? While Helmut complains something is lurking in the bushes looking at him. Then suddenly Elaga attacks him, which scares Helmut and causes him to jump away. Elaga looks at him and asks him if he is trying to be funny. Helmut tells her that Aryan told him to get water, as it would make him stronger. Elaga asks what he is going to do once he gets stronger. Helmut looks sad and tells her he is going to go to the human world. Eliga looks sad too and asks if he thinks something good going to happen if he leaves. He doesn't know, but nothing good will happen if he stays here. He then tells her that he is going and that he will see her later. She looks at him and then with great sadness turns her head. She walks away and then tells him that she is sure he will have a good life. Back at the house, Helmut is training and Darien yells that he has to keep his back straight. Helmut tells him that he is too tired and he tells him if he does not want to leave the forest. He frustratingly yells but holds on. Darien looks at him and is impressed that he is holding on. He thinks to himself that he was born with many things apart from the seed of darkness and thinks it would be worth teaching Helmut. Helmut keeps going until the sun sets and Darien tells him he can stop, so he falls down from exhaustion. Darien catches him and Helmut tells him that he is hungry. Darien says all right and cooks dinner for him. He tells Helmut that he should use a spoon, and the moment he puts the spoon in his mouth he gets excited. He starts stuffing himself and loves the soup. Darien stands up and Helmut asks him if he is not going to eat. Darien tells him to listen to him while he is eating. He tells Helmut that he came to leave the forest and is getting stronger. He tells him that because he is a human and not a demonic beast, he has his limits. That is why he is thinking he will teach him the way of the sword. But before that, he needs to show him what a sword is.